Argentina is in crisis. Protests, economic hardship, and a government caught between the demands of its citizens and the harsh reality of its finances. One of the most pressing issues, the plight of retirees, many of whom are struggling to survive on pensions that have lost much of their purchasing power. For months now, retirees have been taking to the streets demanding higher pensions, better medical coverage, and an extension of the pension moratorium. But with Argentina's economy in turmoil, the real question is, can the government afford it? Let's take a deep dive into this ongoing crisis. To understand why the government is reluctant to meet the retirees' demands, we need to look at Argentina's economic situation. The country has been battling negative net foreign currency reserves, a result of years of overspending, currency crisis, and a history of sovereign defaults. Argentina has been locked in a cycle of financial instability for decades, and today it faces one of its worst crises yet. Adding to this pressure, Argentina holds the dubious distinction of being the biggest borrower from the International Monetary Fund. Over the years, it has entered into 22 loan programs with the organization, the most recent being a 44 billion agreement signed in 2022. The government is still repaying that massive debt while struggling to stabilize its economy. President Javier Milei, a self described libertarian, has taken a hard stance on economic reforms, arguing that Argentina needs a new IMF deal to restore its central bank's accounts and begin the process of lifting capital controls that have been in place since 2019. These controls, he says, have suffocated business and investment in the country. While the government tries to balance the books, Argentina's retirees are suffering. The economic downturn has hit them the hardest, with pensions falling far below the poverty line. Inflation has eaten away at their savings and purchasing power, making basic necessities increasingly unaffordable. In response, retirees have been protesting every Wednesday for months, demanding action. Their key demands include updating pensions to recover lost purchasing power, restoring essential medication coverage, which many depend on for survival, and extending the pension moratorium, which expires in March. The expiration of this moratorium could leave thousands without a pension, as they would no longer be eligible due to missing years of required contributions. The police handling of the protests has sparked outrage among activists. Critics argue that the Milei government is using excessive force against vulnerable elderly citizens. Milei's government finds itself in an almost impossible position. On one hand, increasing pensions and providing greater support for retirees would be the morally right thing to do. On the other hand, Argentina simply does not have the money to afford such largesse. The financial crisis is too severe, and making additional spending commitments could push the country closer to yet another default. To restore confidence in Argentina's economy, Milei proposed a new IMF backed financial program, which was approved by the lower house of parliament on March 19th. The markets responded positively, with Argentina's main stock index rising 4.5% and over the counter bonds climbing in after hours trading. The approval of this plan is a step towards restoring financial stability, but it comes at a cost. The road ahead will not be easy. Argentina needs its citizens to rally together and support tough economic reforms if it hopes to recover. The challenge is ensuring that this recovery doesn't come at the expense of its most vulnerable populations, like retirees. So, Can Argentina afford to increase pensions? The unfortunate answer is probably not, at least not in the short term. But if Milli's economic strategy succeeds, the country might eventually be able to support its retirees without plunging deeper into financial ruin. Whether Milli is the man who can achieve this remains to be seen. So, what do you think? Should Argentina prioritize pension increases or focus on stabilizing the economy first? Let us know in the comments and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in depth coverage of global issues. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.